Hello everybody and welcome back for what is going to be the last of my Marvel Legends Secret Wars reviews, and today I'm turning my attention to the final villain in this wave, which is Titania. And just like the Beyonder, this is Titania's debut in the Marvel Legends line. We've never had a figure of this character before, so that's always tremendously exciting, and I always like being able to round out my rogues gallery, particularly with some of the more obscure villains. So this is really quite cool and quite exciting. This is one I was really eager to get my hands on. So, without further ado, let's take a look at the packaging, which will be very familiar to anyone who's seen any of the videos in this series, because they are, of course, all the same. They're utilising that retro card all the way back from the original toy line in the 80s. Quite exciting. I really do like this. It's quite simplistic, but it's very colourful. I love the lightning bolt and the storm clouds in the background there, and I think it really catches the eye. And I have to say, these all look fantastic when they're on display. I've got them on my wall at the moment, and I think they look fantastic. And if we flip it and look at the reverse, we have this newly commissioned artwork here of Titania in action, a little bit of bio there, and of course underneath we have the other figures available in this wave, very much in the style and keeping of the original packaging way back when. And then of course underneath that we also have some of those instructions there talking about how to flip out the image in the shield. Now, one of the great things about Titania is that she's an oversized character, so she's a little bit bigger than your standard 6 inches. She's probably coming in around about 7 inches tall, and she looks really muscular and is pretty beefy, which is great because that means we're getting some new sculpting elements here, which is really nice to see and is always quite exciting. Of course, we have a brand new head sculpt, and for the most part, I think this is really good. I like the expression on the face there, quite aggressive. It looks like she means business, which is brilliant. I think the paint apps are good for the most part, certainly in the face and around the mask and the eyes, etc. However, sadly, crucially, they're missing some important paint apps, so a wash running over the hair, because the hair's nicely sculpted, but there's no wash going on here, so therefore it just looks very plasticky and it's a little bit distracting and a bit disappointing. They've cut a corner here, which they didn't need to do. Now, my gut instinct tells me that pretty much everything on this figure is a brand new sculpt. I don't think they've recycled anything from any other previous releases, but if there's any eagle-eyed viewers out there who want to correct me, please do in the comments, because I'd be curious to know what they've recycled if they have. As I said, this looks brand new to me. Pretty much everything, including the torso. Really nice to see that the V-shape, or the sort of T-shape that's cut into the chest is actually sculpted in as well, which is really nice. Likewise, so is the belt. And of course, we have those studs on the arms and on the boots as well. All of this looks new, especially in the musculature, because she's much bigger than other female characters, and even some of the male characters, makes her quite unique and interesting. There's not a lot in the way of paint apps, but what we do have in terms of the gold paint and the silver on the studs, and even the lighter purple on the top of the torso there, all looks pretty good, and I'm quite pleased with this. Would it be enhanced with a little bit of a wash over here and there just to accentuate some of the grooves and the detailing in the sculpt? Absolutely, but as it stands, she's quite colourful, and I think this works quite well on its own. Looking at articulation then, she does have a ball joint at the top of the neck there, but because of that single hair piece there, that's obviously a massive barrier to articulation, which you can see best when it comes to nodding the head backwards. She can look down, but she can't look up. She has ball joints in the shoulders, but as you'll see, there's certainly some quality control issues, and not for the first time in this wave, because this arm has a tendency to want to pop out. You'll see there is a complementary bicep swivel there, but yeah, this piece just wants to pop out all over the place. I don't know whether it's just me or if anyone else is having these kind of issues, but this isn't the first figure in this wave where there's been some discrepancies, I think, in terms of the quality control, which is really disappointing, and I must say, unusual for a Marvel Legends figure. Moving swiftly on, she does have a double pin at the elbow, which is appreciated. This is nice to see. She also has the standard pin swivel at the wrist, so the hand can rotate all the way around and hinge forwards and backwards. She's got a single ball joint in the upper torso. This is really effective. She can move from side to side, she can lean left and right, and she can bend forwards a little bit, but back quite a distance, which is really cool. She's got ball joints in the hips, the legs will kick out to the side, which is good. There's a thigh swivel there as well towards the top of the boot cut. The leg will kick forwards, they'll go back, well, a little bit. There's a double joint at the knee, so that lower leg will kick all the way back there. And then we have the standard ankle rocker, so that foot will hinge forwards and backwards, and of course, hinge from side to side. Accessories wise, she's pretty light. She does just come with an additional pair of gripping hands, and of course her holographic shield. To be fair, I don't think there's too much else I would really expect from a character like this. She's fairly self-contained in terms of accessories, but maybe an alternate head, an unmasked head might have been cool or something like that, just to, shake it up a little bit, maybe give us some props or something like that, just to give us a little bit of value add. Okay, and then we have a holographic shield. Now, I really like these. I think this is really cool novelty, obviously recycled from the Airly toy line, which is really cool. It doesn't serve any practical purpose, but nevertheless, I think it's a really nice touch, and I still think it's kind of fun all these years later. And of course, that can just clip onto her wrist there, so she can carry that shield if you so wish. And yeah, looks pretty good. And just before I wrap up for today, I did want to show the height differential. I did say she was slightly oversized, so you can see here she is standing next to Cap, standard 6 inches, and here you can see Titania obviously just peeking above him just ever so slightly, coming in at roughly 7 inches tall. And so, final thoughts from me. Sadly, I'm only going to give her 3 stars. I have to say, I was really excited for this character. I really wanted to have the debut of Titania. She was one of the ones I was most excited about in this particular wave, and I'm a little bit underwhelmed. I'm a bit disappointed. Part of that is the lack of value add when it comes to accessories. I could forgive that if we'd had seen a bit more detail in terms of paint washes, particularly in the hair. I feel like that's an obvious misstep, which is unfortunate. But really, the biggest thing that's really holding this figure back is the quality control issues. I've seen this a couple of times now. I've mentioned it in a few of the other videos. I've kind of looked past it up until this point, but I feel like there's a bit of a theme here, which is very unusual. I don't know what's going on, but I certainly hope that this is a one-off, an oversight, something unusual and freaky. Maybe it's just me who's experienced this. But nevertheless, it's got beyond a joke, I think. If I can't even pose the figure without the arm snapping off, that is not good. So definitely got to lose at least a star for that. So there you have it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and do let me know if you're experiencing similar issues when it comes to the quality control with this particular wave of figures. I'd love to know if it's just me. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do consider giving the video a like. That kind of thing really does help the channel out, and it allows me to keep making more content. And if you're interested in seeing more content, remember to hit subscribe, as there'll be plenty more videos coming soon.